we are looking at the theme of women in Islam. No, we wanted to see what Allah says about women in the Quran, not what Muslims do with women. That is why we said, let us go to the source, because generally, Islam and Muslims have presented a bundle of contradictions. So we believe that if we stick to the Quran, we are almost certain that we will have to need hadith, the sunnah of the Prophet, fiqh, and other sources to understand the Quran fully. We believe, therefore, that it is the Quran that should be the main source of any information and the knowledge base for Muslims on any issue. That's why we tagged it women in the Quran, not women in Islam. Before the break, we commenced our conversation from Surah Al-Baqarah for two reasons. One, Surah Al-Baqarah is the beginning of the Quran, is the second surah, and therefore it's just quite natural that we start from the first mentions of our theme in the Quran. Second, Surah Al-Baqarah is an introduction to the Quran that picks up almost every subject discussed in the Quran from its foundation, and usually as thesis statements or thematic concerns. You find Surah Al-Baqarah sometimes making final statements on an issue that has also been discussed in other surah of the Quran. Sometimes Surah Al-Baqarah will pick an issue to be referenced in details in other parts of the Quran. So for these two reasons, we believe that if we start from Surah Al-Baqarah, we will necessarily have to go into other surah of the Quran to get the details of the issues of women in the Quran. We have reached ayah 223. As a summary, this ayah tells us 5 issues. One is a response to intimacy attitude that was generated into a taboo in Medina by the Jews, and the Muslims were confused that a man should not approach his wife from the back. So Allah clarifies the issue, Allah nullifies the taboo, and Allah describes our wives as our farms. Now, this is the theme. This is the main issue. If your wife is your farm, it means you are a farmer. Between the farm and the farmer, one is responsible, one has work to do, one should serve the other. And it is obvious that if the farmer wants anything from the farm, he has to serve. He has to work hard. As a summary and review, we said that the farmer needs general knowledge of agricultural practice, which implies that a man who wants to make success of his marriage must have general knowledge of women. He should be able to distinguish between the man and the woman, in sentiment, in mentality, in attitudes, and in response to issues, response to relationship, response to critical subjects of life, and also response to life coaching. A man that ignores this basic knowledge is looking for failure, apparent, obvious, and almost sure failure. You don't take a man for a woman and vice versa. A woman is slightly different. She's a human being, but she's slightly different. She's wired to think that she's perfect. It is not a fault. A woman is wired to think that she's perfect. So she gets angry when you want to correct her. But the man is also saddled with the responsibility of being a teacher to a perfect woman. You see, there's a problem which has generated into a conflict, and this conflict will appear to be permanent. In other words, the man is a teacher as Qawam, but the woman is an angel. So how can an ordinary being teach an angel who thinks that she's perfect? This is the cause of conflict all the time. To the extent that it is not every cry of a woman when you talk that implies that she's pained, she regrets her action, she's not happy that she did what you claim she did. It is a cry of you correcting me despite my perfection, despite my effort to make everything perfect. You still don't appreciate. The woman cries because she's wired to be appreciated, but the man is wired not to be loved, actually, but to be appreciated. So two people that want to be appreciated will hardly receive appreciation. The man wants to be appreciated, to be respected, to be obeyed, to be treated like a king. But the woman wants to be treated like an angel, like an egg, fresh egg, and to be appreciated, to be loved. So that when you love her, you appreciate her, you worship her, you serve her, you make her happy. But the man will treat a woman ordinarily as a human being who should be reasonable. And the matter of being reasonable is a very delicate matter. So the man, we said, must know that the woman in his house wants to be loved, but a man does not love. She also wants to be appreciated, and a woman does not always show appreciation except when she wants more. A woman, averagely, an average woman does not know what she wants. So whatever you do, she still feels that there is something more to be done. A man does not like this. You must have this knowledge. Two, you must have specific knowledge of your particular farm. Therefore, you cannot compare your rice farm with beans farm, with yam farm, with cocoa farm, with kola nut farm, with coconut plantation, and oil palm plantation. Yeah, date palm is palm, oil palm is palm, coconut is also a palm tree. Despite the fact that you cannot compare your wife with any other woman, you cannot say that if your wife is one of a couple, is a twin to another woman. You are married to a twin. You cannot expect your wife to be like a twin sister. It will be preposterous. It doesn't work that way. And you should not express this comparison of your wife with any other woman if you don't want trouble. If you don't want to bring down fire in your home, don't compare your wife with any other woman. She's unique. She is unique. And above all, she's from you, so you cannot complain. Whatever you find in her that is deficient is just a carryover from you, in view of what Allah says that وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا. One of the signs of Allah is that He created for you from yourself your spouse. Number 3, you must be hardworking. The older your marriage, the older your wife, the harder you have to work. The woman will also work hard, but then her own hard work is natural, and it doesn't take time for her to get tired and to shift from you to grandparenting. Your wife will worship you, take care of you, will treat you like a child until she becomes a grandmother. And the shifting is natural. And then she wants to be a mother all her life. So you must understand that it is hard work to make a grandmother happy, to redirect her attention, to make her pay attention to you. It is not quite easy to make a woman pay attention to the husband. All her life, she has to shift attention. It is going to be a hard work for you to maintain attention of your wife on you as you approach old age. One day we will talk about grandparenting, and we will know the difference between ordinary parenting, grandparenting, and interaction between ordinary parenting and grandparenting. Here, the father has a lot of work to do. We will talk about that later. We also said that he must be extremely patient. The farmer cannot sow today and reap an harvest tomorrow. Similarly, you cannot take care of a woman today and expect the results tomorrow. It's a training, a service, sacrifice that is lifelong. It is a lifelong activity. You have to be extremely patient, especially that this appreciation thing we are talking about will not happen. The Prophet ﷺ had said that she will not appreciate. And that is why majority of human beings in the fire are women, because one of the reasons is they don't appreciate. Therefore, you must be patient. Number 5, you must be prayerful. You must be prayerful. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما. You must not forget to say this prayer either in your tahajjud or after Fajr, after Asri, after Isha. If you say it in your tahajjud, it takes care of the obligation of saying it for the day. If you missed it, you have to probably say it repeatedly. It is only Allah that takes care of the family and maintains it. There is no wisdom, there is no knowledge that does it. What does it is Allah. So you have to hand over your family to Allah to maintain, to train, to take care of for you. Having said this, we move to the second point. But before we go there, we went into the hadith of the Prophet to tell us that, yes, the main issue in marriage is intimacy, and that is why Allah devotes space and time for a discussion on intimacy. But there is no restriction on the style, no restriction on time, no restriction on place in your privacy. It doesn't have to be on the bed. It could be on the edge of the bed. It could be on a seat, on a chair. It could be anywhere. It could be standing. It could be hanging on one another, and so on, as long as there is privacy. But there are two prohibitions: no anal, no intimacy during menstruation. We also remember to say that وَقَدِّمُوا لِأَنفُسِكُم means foreplay. And then we, from here, went to issues of time, issues of quality time for our wives, issues of not staying together, and therefore violating the intimacy rule. If you don't stay together, you are working on possible trust. We say that we are living like animals. Animals have three characteristics. Their intimacy is an irresponsible intimacy. The male mates with the female and goes away. The male only comes to the female when it wants intimacy. It will cajole and make the female accept him. Once the intimacy is over, the male goes away. And the male is not responsible. The male is not responsible. The female does not discriminate among male suitors. The female does not say, this is my husband. And quite a lot of time, kuffar behave like this. They have multiple sex partners. The mu'minun cannot do this, but they are compelled to live the life of the kuffar. The kuffar can have their wives 1,000 kilometers away from them. The woman will have multiple sex partners and make herself happy. It is called cheating. She's only cheating. The man may also have multiple sex partners wherever he is. He's also only just cheating. She's not committing a sin. So there will be no conflict. They both know, on the average, that they're cheating each other, they are deceiving each other, and they are not supposed to fight unless and except where the cheating is obvious and it is done with impunity. Otherwise, cheating is nothing in the life of the kuffar. But it is not cheating in the life of Muslims. It is a sin. It is zina. So most of the time, what causes conflict among the Muslims, conflict that will not be easy to resolve, is this idea of anger. Anger because we are not getting it. We are not getting it sometimes because we are not around. We're not getting it sometimes, not because we're not around, but because we're not available. We may be together, but we are not available. We may not be available sometimes, unfortunately, tragically, and I like to be taken up on this. You are not available because you're doing dawah. Dawah should not make you unavailable. It is absurd, it is unthinkable that you use dawah as an excuse not to be available. Most conflicts that are difficult to resolve are due to living separately, living several kilometers apart. And then few periods when you have the opportunity of intimacy, it is just because it has been long. It is not proper, it is not enjoyable, and then the conflict goes on. So we say that the third characteristic of the animal life is that the woman gives birth and reproduces for others. The, the product of mating uh, do not come back to her. Our children go away from her, whether it is goat or chicken. They are useful for others. Other animals take the children of female animals for food, and human beings also eat them for food as domestic animals. So their children are not useful to them. Sometimes this is the situation we find in human life. Children grow and go away. Once they go to school, they don't come back. When they come back after youth corps, they come back to start discussing marriage. Once they marry, they've gone. And this is what causes trouble for grandpa and grandma, because again, the woman wants to see her children. She wants to see her grandchildren. And at old age, she has to leave the husband, and the husband may have to consider this old age arrangement and so on and so forth. And also we end up overeating the domestic polity. We have these as realities, and we said we should take steps to repair this damage. We have to weigh all these options and make sure that our family is more important than our jobs. It is the woman that may have to sacrifice her job, and unless you know and accept the fact that it is not your job that gives you provision, it is not your education that makes you prosperous, it is Allah who is yabsutu rizqa liman yasha wa yaqdir. If we don't accept this fact, we keep on using jobs to separate and jobs to cause conflict that will be unresolvable in our marriages. Number three, wattaqullah, and fear Allah. It means marriage is an act of ibadah, and that is why taqwa is called in. It means we cannot behave irresponsibly in marriages, we cannot be negligent in marriages, we cannot do whatever we like in marriages. We must apply taqwa in marriages because of number 4. Wa'lamu annahu mulaqu. And know that you are going to meet with Allah, because we are going to render account of what we did to another person's daughter. Because marriage is a covenant. That's why what ties us together is called Aqdu Nikah. Aqdu is singular for uqud. And Allah says, Awfu bil uqud. Be watchful, be fearful of covenant. The covenant is to tell a person that, give me your daughter. I will do everything you do for her and what you must not do for her. I will take care of her food, her nutritional needs, her accommodation, her clothing, and her emotional needs, which you cannot provide for. Ordinarily, we tend to think that nobody can take care of our daughters like us. But what about the intimacy? We can provide her with that emotional needs. So you are going to account to how well, living and speaking to your covenant. وَبَشِّرِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Give glad tidings to the believers. From here, we went to other parts of the Quran, where Allah says, your wife is from you, and you are supposed to live together. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا, so that you will depend on her, so that you will live with her, so that you will find repose in her, so that you find happiness in her, so that you find tranquility in her. Once a man does not feel like going home and he develops cold feet when it is time to go home, he must have destroyed his home. It is not the woman that destroys home. It is the man. It is the man that treats the woman right, and she responds. She makes him happy, and she makes him always wanting to come home. It is the same man that disrespects the woman, treats her as a slave, and then the woman will wait until she's able to revenge, and then she makes the home ungovernable for him and unattractive for him to come. But he must come home because he's wired to seek his wife. Unfortunately, many men don't know. A man is wired to seek his mother before marriage and his wife after marriage. That is why after some time, grandpa calls grandma, grandma. Before they become grandma and grandpa, once in a while you start calling each other mommy, daddy. It's quite natural. And you cannot deny this. A life of denial is a deceptive life. So we said that we should be careful with this. I have done a revision of the classes that we've had, and I think we can stop here so that I listen to you, so that you can contribute. If there are issues that we discussed that I didn't remember, like what we can do to repair our damaged sexual life, the kind of food that men can eat to increase their capacity, their carrying capacity. I remember saying that whatever looks like an organ in your body works for it. The carrot, the pineapple, the banana, the plantain, and nuts for old men, groundnut, walnut, coconut, tiger nut, and the rest of them. And you can add natural food, vegetables, spinach, alefo, efo euro, and the rest of them. They work for many people. So we have to know that marriage is hard work, and intimacy is the main issue, and we must be attentive to all this. I want us to start the conversation in the next 10 minutes so that I can rest. I'm a bit tired, although we are on strike. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك. نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون. والسلام على المرسلين. والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاك الله خير sir.
وإياك.
Yes, alhamdulillah. Let me once again welcome us back after the Ramadan break. So you might have tried to do this recap of what we have discussed as part of this theme, women in the Quran. So it is time for us to contribute, remind us some of the things that have been left out so that we take off from there next week. So those who have contribution or who have any clarification can indicate by raising up their digital hand. So, okay. Razak, Dedayo, you can unmute and make your contribution, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you hear it clearly?
Alhamdulillah, sir. I wanted to say Alhamdulillah last time when we did the class on Talim, that Allah has given us the opportunity of meeting again after Ramadan. However, sir, today revision is well noted, sir. There are some things you said maybe by inspiration last time, which we agree we are going to grant before we went on Ramadan. One of the issues that you said that are always a problem is that the absentee father or husband who is not responsible and not responsive, is not in attendance and is not in attention. You wanted to clarify that issue. It's not in attendance and it's not in attention.
Attention.
You wanted to clarify that issue that time. Two, sir, is the one you enter into today, the issue of women waiting for their husband to be punished. I think we need to dwell on that. Before this class, sir, people have issue. And I believe after this class has started, we need to start to forgive ourselves and pray that Allah give us the grace. Because even this issue of waiting for somebody depends on our life. Those who lost their wives now around among us, those women don't have the opportunity of revenge. And the man is even regretting that what he's supposed to do to the wife, he couldn't. And they have gone. So the issue of faith needs to be seriously stressed. That we need to sit down, and people have issues, sir. That's why you are there. People still keep issues to themselves, sir. We still have homes that are not some of our women are still very heady, even on this platform, sir. Believing that the man has scored as if he has killed human being, I cannot be forgiven. Whatever he must have done, if he abandoned you and has married another wife, I think you are trying to clarify those issues. Let us bring ourselves down as a Muslim, because most of us interacted with those who are not Muslims, and sometimes we are using their dictionary to run our home. As a life coach, I know you know most of these things. People are not reading. People are not interacting. If by the time we enter into parenting, you will see issue. Somebody was telling me today, sir, a man was holding 15 naira. The child was asking, Dad, I want to buy biscuit. Let's go and meet your mother. I want to use this 15 naira to polish my shoe. And he went and polished his shoe. So these are result of relationship between husband. No matter how much we pretend. Some of us concentrate on our children today. The man is spending, the wife is spending, they are competing. Why they are forgetting themselves? So let's stop there. As we go on, I will continue to talk on issue about life. I think you should tell people to open up to you. People they are not enjoying their marriages. They are not. They are enduring it. And it's not good for us as a Muslim, because it will not allow us to serve Allah the way it should be served. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. Yeah, before we go to Sister Maimunat, I want to quickly respond to attendance and attention. If you have reason not to be in attendance, that is, you are not around, then you must pay attention whenever you are around. You must not come home during the weekend and then press phone. You must do away with your phone. You must pay full attention when you are at home. And you must apologize. Let your wife know that that life is not the ideal. And one way to neutralize absence from home is to, well, thanks to technology, is to make up with telephone call, video call, and it shouldn't be, how about Abdullah, how about Mulikat? No. It should be, how about you? So the girl, as if she's a baby. She likes it. She likes to hear ṣé o ti jẹun kí ló jẹ? Oh, they post into Jessimic and so on and so forth. She likes when you ask her to pack your soup as you travel to Lagos, even to Abuja. I knew an old couple. He was almost 60 then. His wife will pack the soup that he will use for 1 week from Lagos to Abuja. She will prepare the soup the husband will eat for 5 days from Lagos to Abuja. Even if you are not going to eat it, let's have that feeling that you are eating our food. It's just the bar and so on that you are not eating. You are eating a soup. These are some of the ways to prep it. Even those of us who are with our wives, we need the attention, not just the attendance. We need the attention of our wives. We need to pay attention and talk, communicate. Thank you very much. As for those who are waiting for their husbands to be punished, well, like you said, it has to do with faith, but also it has to do with the man too. We have to talk to ourselves. An average woman is not that bad. But there are things that men do, very, very bad things that men do. We have to have the taqwa of Allah so that we won't be, guilty of this usual I wait for you. Or what me fair tell now. When she completely takes over the family, the man will be in trouble. May Allah save us. Sister Memunat.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sir.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my sister.
Jazakumullahu khairan for this beautiful summary of what we did, the summary of what we have done so far. Actually, my question has somehow been answered because your last statement has summarized what I wanted to ask. Waiting to be punished is what many or most women wait for, especially when they know that they are not going to get what I will refer to as justice when issues are being referred to our religious leaders to handle. They believe that the women are always the one, continue to endure. And so they believe that our religious leaders, I'm sorry, sir, I just have to say it the way I feel, that àwọn ọkùnrin wá dàbí pé wọ́n ti ju ẹni tí wọ́n bá wí lọ. And so many women will wait sí pé mi kúkú nílé fẹjọ́ sùn, tí bá kúkú fẹjọ́ sùn náà ẹ̀rín lẹ máa fi parí ẹ̀, so wọ́n á máa kúkú dúró pé èmi náà á gbé ẹ̀san fún rárá mi. So I want to appeal, sir, that for DF, that Dawa Front should, every, the states, we should have what is called counseling units. I don't know, maybe we have, that issues will be discussed. People can pour out their mind. Let it be official. Let them have a counseling unit that people can really pour out their mind. And in this counseling unit, our men should not be spared. Come and come for jury, because women are really complaining, sir. And when I say that, I have had most of our women complaining that àwọn ọkùnrin yẹn ti ju pé kan bá wọn wí, not ju bá wí lọ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń fẹjọ́ wọn sùn. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ sir, ẹ need láti tún bá wa bá àwọn brothers wa sọ̀rọ̀, especially those that are the ones that we confided in. Táwọn obìnrin yẹn bá ti lọ bá wọn yí pé this is what happened. Kọ́ má fi ṣe tọ̀rẹ́ pé brother mi ni, kán dá ẹjọ́ yẹn bó ti tọ́ àti bó ṣe yẹ. a kì í sọ pé kán dá wa láre òbí tá a bá ti jẹ̀bi lóbìnrin kán sọ fóbìnrin pé ó jẹ̀bi bọ́ ibi tọkùnrin náà bá ti jẹ̀bi kí wọ́n sọ fún wọn pé ó jẹ̀bi and let them allow us to pour out our mind kọ́kọ́ má máa sọ pé gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ because gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ló máa ń bí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ obìnrin nínú pé ẹ máa kúkú dákẹ́ mi ní sọ̀rọ̀ àmọ́ èmi náà àmọ́ ibi tí mo ti máa mú ẹ ibi tí Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Jazakallah khairan, my sister. Unfortunately, many men don't know that many men know more. They don't know this. I've been searching for the national coordinator. It's not there. I don't think national coordinator is there.
He's there, sir.
Okay, let him talk now.
iPhone
Please respond to that. Okay, you're a host.
Yes.
Everybody. Respond to that. Just give
we thank everybody on this call, and we thank our Imam. May Allah continue to preserve your goodness. In respect of the counseling unit, is one of the areas we are working upon at national level, which is going to go down to the chapter level. And we mentioned it about maybe 3 or 4 or 6 months ago, and we promised to work on it. So I with Imam and GNC and the Imam and the County, we are going to form up a committee and we're going to look at it. And as you know, inshallah, at that level, we are not going to maybe rub people on the head and say, okay, please just take it. No. Whatever is the truth, like you see us doing here, we are going to make sure that we say the truth, and because we believe that whatever we do, we for the sake of Allah, and Allah is going to ask us on the day of Qiyamah. Jazakumullah khairan.
Well, yeah. Thank you very much, National Coordinator. Sister, you've had work is ongoing. Meanwhile, if you are in Oshogbo, you can hook up to, for the meantime, hook up to Engineer Abiwasi who can link you up. If there's any issue, I will be available while we are waiting for formal inauguration of this counseling unit. If you're in Lagos, Alhaji Kosim Alabi is there. If you're in Abeokuta, Dr. Kushimo is there. Alhaji Abazak Kadidayo is there. A few other people are there in Abeokuta that don't look at your faces, mashallah. If you're in Ibadan, you can, Alhaji Afagba is there, Ustaz Ashipa is there, and so on. So these are people who don't look at people's faces. And where again, if you are in Akure, we are going to work on Akure. We are going to work on Akure. If you are in Ekiti, Abidani is there, mashallah. So we are working on other places, mashallah. But I'm available. Allah has blessed us with certain capacities and abilities. May Allah continue to sustain our families.
Amen.
Who is next? Sister Maria is
I am next, Imam. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum.
Yeah, I've waited for people to remind us of something, that we take care of all these issues that have been raised. In one of the sessions, sir, before Ramadan, we agreed that any month that has 5 Tuesdays, we'll be using the 5th Tuesday as interactive session, where people are going to bear out their mind.
Jazakallah.
And all issues raised and trashed. It was just that before Ramadan, there was no month with 5 Tuesdays. But I still note it and still have it in mind. So it's a proposal that has been made to
whenever you are
address
mobilizing for the program, So make it known and then make it a 1 week mobilization starting from Wednesday.
Yes, this May is having 5 Tuesday,
Okay.
and May 31st is the last day of the month, and the in 4 weeks, that is what is going to take place. Let everybody be prepared and get set for this.
To mobilize for the big event, 31st of May, mashallah.
Inshallah. Yes, sir.
And again, let's look at the possibility of making it physical then. Not just
physical?
That Wednesday. Yes, the coordinator is here now. We can have a physical family seminar. We used to have it now.
Yes.
And the COVID should not take this thing away from us now. National coordinator, are you hearing us?
Yes, sir. I'm hearing. I'm even raising up my hand because I want there's another condition on that. Now, when it is the fifth Tuesday, what we should do is that we should have a room, discussion room, that people are going to join, so that you can belong to anywhere you want. If you like, you can make it gender based, and if you like, you can make it a mixed based. Whereby people are going to talk and they will come and discuss. Then there is a national. There are two national programs that are for family seminar. I don't know exact date now, but I know one is in Oshogbo, another one is in Lagos. So I will work with the national secretary and the ANS to give me the date, and I'll pass it to the coordinators of this program. As the engineer, I've brought it to, we can take it from there, inshallah.
Imam sir,
Yes.
for this month of May, we have 5 Tuesdays. For August, we have 5 Tuesdays. If we can, and you are suggesting that that interactive session should be made physical.
Yeah.
I don't know if you are starting it from May, because there is a national program, youth program in Ibadan from 27th to 29th. If you can now say that Sunday of 29th, we will make it that whatever. I don't know if the national we are kind of agreed to that.
Of this May, right?
Yes, 27 to 29th. There is a program.
Discuss with the national coordinator. Discuss with the national coordinator, whatever you agree upon. We are cooking on strike till August.
Yes, we announced, right?
You have to. Okay, no problem, sir.
So you don't believe you can recall your program?
So that I will see your face. Now it's what?
I said so. We don't even have any chance that the strike may be called off before the expiration of the 12 weeks.
Don't worry. It can be called off this month. Don't worry.
Don't call us right. We are used to it. Continue.
Okay. So whenever the physical is going to take place, let us know. Mobilize for it. I think August is not a bad idea.
Yes,
but let's have the interactive session on the 31st.
Okay, sir.
If I'm able to come for the youth program, inshallah, I'll come. But let us prepare for it. It's going to be a big one.
Okay, sir.
Discuss with the national coordinator so that we can have it in August, inshallah.
Yes, sir. Inshallah.
وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم ربنا ظلمنا وان لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين
آمين
واسرافنا وثبت اقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين ربنا اياك من قرة اعين واجعلنا للمتقين اماما
آمين
وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار سبحانك
آمين
اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد ان
أشهد
لا
أن لا إله إلا أنت
سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله